One of my favorites is back, and it's even better. Have a look. Yeah, here it is with box. Not many people doing this anymore, but Maverix and Matt have chosen to keep the box, which is still a really nice thing to get in the post. And let's have a look inside. You get, not doing this very well. So you get the paddle and you get free overgrip and weights, but not just weights, instructions where to put the weights, really detailed. I'll give you a look. They've actually put a bit of thought into people using weights for the first time. You've got all this information, recommended places to put the weights. I actually played the paddle stock for the first few hours, I think, and then over the next few sessions I added weight to here and here, and it's a beast. They made it better, as I said. A shape that maybe not a lot of you are familiar with, but they've cut out the top, basically an elongated paddle, cut this bit, so you've got the maneuverability of it being lightweight, but you've still got that reach for the elongated, and it's so much fun to play with. You know, it's stock, it's really light, really maneuverable. You will be able to get your hands to things quickly, you'll be reaching shots. You can, very flexible, get that kind of flexible feeling when you're playing with it. And then I added a bit of weight for the drives and the stability, and it's just a really fun paddle to play with. Love the blue, love the addition of the topography and the white, the big white kind of lettering there, and on the back they've kept this nice little detail with Havik 2 4-foam core, 15 millimeters. Remember, 15 millimeters, not 16, but it doesn't plays more like a 16 than a 14. 14 would be less forgiving. This is a balance between forgiveness and power. But it's definitely got the power. I wouldn't put it elite power, but it's definitely got power, and it has a nice sweet spot to start with. The weight on just expands it a little bit to get those softness of shots in the direction and the placement and power that you want. Let's have a look at the specs that I have on the paddle that I received. They are, so the static weight came in at 7.9 ounces. As I said, that will feel light in your hand compared to other paddles that you've used. But the benefit of that is that you can add weight. Remember, you can't take weight out of a paddle unless you're chunking bits off it. So better to start with something a little bit lighter that you can add to and adapt to your style of play. Twist weight on my model came in at 6.2 and the swing weight was 112. If you're worried about, I don't know why you would be worried, but if you are, there's no need to be. These are, high performance paddles. But it also, try something different, see if it works for you. I think a lot of people have been surprised at the maneuverability of this when I've let them play with it. They've felt that they can reach balls that they weren't reaching before. Overheads have been a massive thing. They've really enjoyed overheads, just because it's probably not as chunky as what they're used to dealing with, or head heavy. So yeah, you've still got that reach, but it's lighter and easier to swing than your traditional elongated. So some of the other stats include the core thickness is 15 millimeters. The handle length is 5.3 inches, so just shy of 5.5 inches, but you don't really feel that I've played with other 5.5 inch handles and this one feels very similar. So it has an EPP floating core, a low density EVA foam going around here, and then a high density EVA foam like a wishbone sheet to increase rigidity here. And there is a slight bit of internal weighting here and here to increase stability. But yeah, all in all guys, a pretty awesome looking paddle, really fun to play with, great maneuverability, really nice job Mavericks, and one of my favorites. That's it from me guys, I'll see you on the next one.